Hello, friends, and welcome to my impromptu live. I was getting ready to make the video, and I was like, you know what? Why don't you just go live? Save yourself some work and go live. So here we are live. Hello, friend. I see I have one person in there. Welcome to the Conservative Poet with me, Amanya. So we have so much to talk about. So much has happened over the weekend, over the past couple of days. I mean, the news just keeps coming from left, right, and center. And man, sometimes I don't know where we're going with all of this news. So just a few hours ago, it came through the wire that shots was fired at Border Patrol. And we're going to take a look to see what this is all about. Nobody was killed. Nobody was actually shot, at least from when I got the story just a few minutes ago. But shots were fired at the border. And so we're going to play the news clipping to see exactly what is going on before we get into all of the other interesting things that we are going to talk about. So let's get into this.
Everyone here live now from Fox. We do have some breaking news that we want to bring to you from Fox News' Bill Malugin reporting of a situation happening at the border right now. He is reporting per multiple law enforcement sources within the last hour, Border Patrol agents near Fronton, Texas, were fired upon from Mexico by suspected cartel gunmen as a group of illegal aliens were being brought across the river. I'm told that Border Patrol returned fire. Nobody hit on either side right there. And we are going to continue on with this as Texas DPS tells Bill Malugin that they are now patrolling the area and has a drone in the air and can see Mexican military assets now staging on the other side of the river there. So again, we are going to be following this story here for you on Live Now from Fox. It is very fluid at this moment, but this comes at a time when big changes are.
Man, I tell you, I still can't get over like what these setups are like at the border. I mean, when we look at this shot right here, this shot that we're looking at right here, I mean, this is crazy what we're seeing. And this is an old picture because I've seen them before. I've seen these shots before. But this is the kind of stuff that was happening at the border where they've literally got these people set up this way on the land. Like, I mean, this is crazy what we went through in the last couple of years with immigration and how this thing worked out. I mean, again, friend, shots at the border, and hopefully nobody has been killed.
Happening at the White House when it comes to border security. And a lot of these measures are taking place pretty much on a daily basis. We're also seeing mass deportations happening really now every day. As just yesterday, more than 900 people were picked up from major cities, from Boston to Los Angeles as well. And we were bringing that to you, just some of the many arrests that were happening yesterday, including an ISIS member that was accused there of crossing the border illegal as well. So again, some major disturbances, though, happening on the border. There's gunshots reportedly fired at U.S. Border Patrol agents. They are investigating right now, and we will keep an eye.
Well, at least they both were shooting at each other. So, but shots fired from Mexico side to us first, and then we, reciprocated bullets, you know. So, anyway, I thought that was something that we should have looked at. So again, nobody has been hurt or killed from that shooting, but shots definitely fired at the border. So this is going to take us into why I really wanted to make this live stream tonight. And that is, there's been like really a lot happening over the last couple of days. President Trump has been in conversations with the military. They had 1,500 military men deported out to the border, and they've gotten to work. They are literally going from all kinds of different cities, and they are literally roping people up. We're going to take a news clipping in reference to that in just a second. But also, Colombia president came out a few days ago and said, "Yep, we're not going to play ball. We're not doing it. You keep our criminals. We don't want them back." And so, but he quickly changed his mind when Trump cracked the whip. And so now he says, yeah, we'll take our criminals. We'll take them back. So that's going to be a little bit later on. But right now, we're going to look at a news clipping of what has been going on over the last couple of days in reference to pictures that the White House has put out here showing that shots of what's been happening, people in the planes being shipped back to whatever countries. So we're going to look at that right now.
Developments on immigration just days after President Trump declared an emergency at the southern border. A military buildup underway. The first of some 1,500 active duty troops have arrived. Marines from Camp Pendleton arriving with heavy equipment and Osprey aircraft. And for the first time, military planes are making deportation.
Wow, look at that. That's a military plane. That thing looks like it's ready for war. That's another thing. We have all of this great equipment. It doesn't protect us. It doesn't do anything for us. We're out there protecting other countries. And this is the first time a military plane like this has been used like for needing US business. Like it's always taking care of other countries. So this is what a military plane looks like, a cargo. And this is where they're bringing in all of the people that they have arrested, and they're going to be dropping them off in their countries.
Flights. This C-17 at Fort Bliss, Texas. Migrants in restraint seen boarding a flight to Guatemala. A new image from inside another flight.
Wow, look at inside of that. Look at how these people are. Oh my goodness. Everybody's chained up, everybody's in handcuffs. I mean, these are violent criminals, right? Of course they'd be in handcuffs and chained up. They're violent criminals. That's who they're roping up first. They're roping up violent criminals first.
Taking off from Tucson, Arizona. Meantime, the administration saying that arrests are ramping up. More than 500 undocumented migrants arrested in multiple cities over the last 24 hours. And tonight, the president's new border czar, Tom Homan, saying this is only the beginning. ABC's chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz leads us off tonight.
Tonight, for the first time, U.S. military aircraft flying undocumented migrants out of the country as President Donald Trump launches his deportation campaign. The White House releasing these pictures, dozens of migrants in chains boarding C-17 aircraft. The flights landing in Guatemala carrying roughly 160 people, men and women.
Deportation's going very well.
Today, the Trump administration's new border czar, Tom Homan, telling me it's only the beginning.
Is that going to be a constant commitment from the U.S. military every single day to take deportees out?
Yes.
This as the military buildup on the border escalates. 1,500 active duty personnel, Army and Marines deploying. Their mission to support enhanced detection and monitoring efforts and repair and replace physical barriers. ABC's Matt Rivers on the ground in San Diego.
So right now these Marines are offloading concertina wire. They're going to bring it right down to the border to reinforce it. It's clearly meant to be a deterrent against future migration. And these kinds of supply flights, we might see a lot more of them over the coming months.
Far from the border, ICE raids and arrests in cities across the country in the days since the president was sworn in, some of them likely long planned, but a clear sign of what's to come. Boston, New York, and Newark, New Jersey. Newark's mayor saying agents raided a small business without a warrant, detaining American citizens in the process.
People were fingerprinted. Pictures of their IDs and face were taken there. When I got this information, I was appalled.
The Trump
Just want to throw in real quick. I was a Newark resident for quite a while, and he was not my mayor. Cory Booker was, and I could tell you, neither one of them have any good sense. Running the city into the ground. They're just like, the rest, just like Brandon Johnson and the rest. failures. They failed Newark. Just saying.
Administration releasing numbers showing 538 arrests over the past 24 hours. The White House saying they're initially targeting undocumented immigrants who have committed violent crimes. But Homan acknowledges not everyone swept up in the raids fits that profile. And he has a stark warning to anyone who's in the country illegally. So is this what we will see every single day? Ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported.
Yeah.
Yes, but you're going to see the numbers steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture. Right now it's concentrating public safety threats, national security threats. That's a smaller population.
So after you do that, then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
Yeah.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table. Because it's not okay to, violate laws of this country. So if you're in the country legally, you got a problem. And that's why I'm hoping those who are in the country legally who have not been ordered removed by the federal judge should leave.
Homan was very clear that those committing violent crimes will be deported first and acknowledges that the show of force, these strong warnings to all undocumented immigrants, are meant to send a message that they should self-deport, since it would take a very long time and massive amounts of manpower and money to deport an estimated 11 million undocumented immigrants. Whit?
Martha Raddatz, thank you. Major developments.
I mean, it is what it is. It's happening. President Trump has run on this. He has told the people this is what's going to happen. It's happening. And now that it's happening, they act like they didn't know it was coming. They act like they didn't know. But unfortunately for them, it's happening. And Tom Homan, as you saw there, he said it. Yep. Yeah, we're doing that. That's what's happening. And so I feel sorry for some people. But again, as I said it earlier, not everybody can stay. Not everybody can come. And so at some point, this has to happen. I mean, so many millions and millions of people have come into the country. Wide open borders. We have no sovereignty in this country. There's no sovereignty, A country without borders, a country without its own sovereignty is not a country. We're just an open space. Anybody can come, and that's not the case. And so, it is what it is. Let's move into Colombia, because a couple of days ago, the Colombian president was saying he was not going to cooperate with President Trump and receiving his national people back, his national criminals. They was like, yeah, we don't want them back. You can keep them. We don't want them back. But he is singing a different tone now that President Trump cracked the whip and has pretty much said, if you're not going to play ball, friend, you're going to have some problems. Yeah, we import well with both countries, but you're going to have a problem if you don't take back your criminals. And so he changed his mind quick. There we go.
Sends a message to other countries that the president means what he says and that he is going to deliver punishment if countries don't cooperate.
A possible trade war averted after Colombia agrees to accept planes of migrants that departed from right here in San Diego. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee. Tonight, President Trump is declaring victory over Colombia. It follows threats he made if they didn't comply. CBS 8's Shannon Handy has the details, including what we know about the flights that took off from San Diego.
I spoke with a defense official who confirmed 2 C-17s left MCS Miramar on Saturday headed for Colombia, but they were forced to turn back after Colombia refused to accept them. That has since changed.
As Commander-in-Chief, I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions.
President Trump is making good on his promise to crack down on immigration. Over the weekend, 2 U.S. military planes departed MCS Miramar to return deported migrants to Colombia, but they were forced to turn back after the country's president said he wouldn't accept their flights, saying the U.S. cannot treat Colombian migrants as criminals. President Trump responded by threatening a travel ban on Colombian government officials and 25% tariffs on imported goods, which would increase to 50% in a week. Ultimately, Colombia backed down.
El gobierno de Colombia informa que hemos superado el impasse con el gobierno de los Estados Unidos.
Colombian Foreign Minister Luis Gilberto Murillo said his country will receive returning Colombian nationals. In response, the White House released a statement saying, in part, draft orders imposing tariffs and sanctions on Colombia would be held in reserve and not signed unless Colombia fails to honor this agreement. Today's events make clear to the world that America is respected again. President Trump expects all other nations of the world to fully cooperate in accepting the deportation of their citizens illegally present in the United States. Doris Meisner is a senior fellow.
You know, America is respected again. Now, there's something we have not seen. For this guy to do a turnaround, change his mind 24 hours after Trump put the pressure on him. Oh, yeah, he saw what's good for him. He saw that Trump's not playing. You see what under Biden, people could do whatever they want. They could do whatever they want and nobody would push back. Well, Donald Trump, we put him in office so he could push back, and he is doing exactly that. So yes, America is respected again because, again, we move forward with strength through power or power through strength, or however the saying goes. But any event, we move with power, and other countries recognize that, and they're going to play ball. So this is really a message to all of the other countries saying, look, no more taking advantage of America. You better take back your nationalist criminals or whoever, all of them. You take them back. We don't want them here. We're dropping them off. Anton Daniels said today on his show, I watched a little bit of it earlier, he basically said, you know what? We are actually doing you a favor if we even land on soil. You know, we should just strap them up in, parachutes and just drop them one by one back out of the plane. We don't even have, he said, we're doing y'all a courtesy favor by even landing the plane. We should just drop them off one by one. And then he took it even a step further by stating that on the border, we actually need the men and women actually need help in the form of canines. And he wasn't talking to them just regular canines. He was talking about African dogs. And we looked them up, and these are vicious animals that rip you to shreds. Now, I'm not going to go that far. That's kind of vicious to me. But yeah, he was saying that, you know what? That's what we need. They need to see visuals of stuff like that so they can start deporting themselves, so they can start, turning around. Don't even come, because this is the kind of treatment you're getting. We're not, the days of the hotel is over. The days in the fancy hotel is over. The days of getting food stamp cards is over. The days of us, creating shelters all over the place, closing schools, closing down community centers to put you in, those days are over. Don't come. America is respected again. I think I like it. What say you, friend? I got 4 of you in there. What say you? Drop me a line. Do you like that America is back? Do you like that? Tell me yes, no, maybe so.
And director of the U.S. Immigration Policy Program at the Migration Policy Institute.
He's trying to use a strongman message, and he's prepared to pull out all the stops in order to have it succeed.
Experts say if Colombia did not concede, it would have forced Americans to pay higher prices for certain goods like coffee and flowers. But Colombia would have suffered the biggest blow. According to U.S. trade data, the U.S. is Colombia's largest trading partner with $33.8 billion worth of two-way trade in 2023.
Of those 2 flights that turned back, only one landed in San Diego, the other in Texas. The White House says those visa restrictions on Colombian government officials will stay in place until the first plane load of deportees lands in Colombia. Reporting outside MCS Miramar, I'm Shanna Handy for CBS 8.
Well, friends, there you have it. America is back. We're not playing around. Deportations is happening all over the country. I actually just saw, I didn't add that into this one. I may make that as a separate video, maybe tomorrow or the next day. But here in the great state of Florida, work is actually happening also. The legislature has been called back there in Tallahassee now, and they are because the governor plans to be the first state to really be behind President Trump in all of this. So they had a press conference in Florida. I covered it before. There was a press conference already that the governor did with some of the top sheriffs in our area. And so they are prepared. They want to be the first state. They want to be leading the rest of the states. So Florida is definitely going to be a key player in this deportation system that we're going to be seeing implemented throughout the country. And so Florida has been busy. Again, the legislature is back and the governor is asking them to make laws in reference to Florida, becoming very, very involved in this. So this is going to be a separate video, but I thought I would just throw that in there. That's something to come because I live in Florida, I love to cover what's happening here in our great state, especially when Governor DeSantis is leading the charge. So thanks for stopping by, you guys. This was just a quick update on what's going on. Again, arrests are being made all over the country. Colombia has accepted to take back their nationalist criminals, and we'll see what the rest of the country does. And so it's going to be interesting to see what other states do and what other countries do in reference to this. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you very much for taking the time. It's been a great few minutes of fun. God bless you and keep you, and I will see you in another video. I'll see you tomorrow.